If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. It's free. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard in Spotify, Apple Podcast, and many more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place.
Voting isn't just going to the polls on Election Day anymore. Options like early voting, mail-in voting, and ballot drop boxes are available to more voters and are growing in popularity. How to Vote, a tool created by Democracy Works, breaks down the options your state offers for casting a ballot, empowering you to decide when and where to vote. Democracy works best when we all vote, but misinformation and confusion about election procedures have resulted in a low voter turnout. How to Vote, a tool created by Democracy Works, takes the guesswork out of the voting process. Go to Ballot Ready for a nonpartisan guide to your entire ballot. From there, you can compare candidates based on stances on issues, biographies, and endorsements, and save your choice to use when you vote by mail or in voting booth. You can even request your absentee ballot or make a plan to vote early on Election Day. This election matters. Make sure you have a plan to vote and vote informed. This year, with changes to polling places and vote-by-mail laws as a result of COVID, it is more important than ever to have a plan to vote. Local elected officials affect our lives every day. They decide who to prosecute, monitor, or quality of our drinking water, and choices for the leadership of our schools. 30% of our voters take the time to vote and then leave some part of their ballot blank. This is a missed opportunity to choose the leaders of our communities. It's okay if you're unfamiliar with some of the local positions. We recommend hosting a ballot party. Get together with your friends or over Zoom, split up the research, and go through your ballots together.
This is going to be our Hell in a Cell 2020 review. Joining me, as always, is Matthew Tremble, Daniel Bryant, and our newest member of the team, Donnie Porter. How are you guys?
We're doing great.
Yeah. Well, after a pretty interesting pay-per-view. One of the things I liked was the pre-show that I thought Jeff Jarrett joining the pre-show panel was quite interesting. It was enjoyable. It was his return, actually his first time ever on a pre-show panel. So that was pretty interesting. Yeah, it was very cool. One of the appearances that I thought was really great was R-Truth jumping in on his comedy spot just to find out that he had a match in about 2 minutes. So did you guys watch the pre-show?
No, unfortunately, I didn't. That was cool though. I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I literally looked at the screen and I was like, what the fuck is Jeff Jarrett doing here?
Yeah.
But yeah, it was cool. I love Jeff Jarrett. It's cool to see him on.
Absolutely. Danny?
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to see it. By the time I got home, I literally just caught the opening for the first match. So.
Yeah. The pre-show, R-Truth defended his 24/7, 7-Eleven, I-95, whatever championship belt successfully against Drew Gulak, which I thought it only went 5 minutes, which I thought was a little bit ridiculous for Drew Gulak, considering the amount of talent that guy has to put him out there for only 5 minutes.
I agree.
Yeah. I actually expected more fuckery for this match, and this was actually pretty straightforward for a 24/7 title match.
Right. They said before it happened, they changed the rules just for the particular evening and actually had to take place in a ring. So the general 24/7 rules were not in effect.
Oh, that's interesting.
So nobody could just come out randomly because it was a referee.
And R-Truth can still go too.
Oh, absolutely. The guy is comedy gold. He can work in a million different styles and continue.
On the ring for his age. If I'm not right,
yes.
It's in his upper 40s, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I believe he's probably just a couple years older than I am. Yeah, and he's quite a talented, individual.
And I really appreciate the Little Jimmy reference.
Well, they brought that back. Apparently, they've been doing it for a little bit. And what happened? Drew Gulak got him too. He jumped on him.
Something like that.
Yeah. It was pretty funny. So the main part of the card starts, and immediately the show starts off with the first Hell in a Cell, first of three, with the Universal title. Roman Reigns defends against his cousin Jey Uso, and I don't know. This one took up probably 45 minutes of the first hour of the show.
You mean Thanos?
I'm sorry?
You mean Thanos? Because, Roman had, like, the Infinity Gauntlet.
Right.
Uh-oh. Yeah, this match, it started really slow, and then kept going even slower, and then you had the bad booking finish. So, yeah, there you go.
The finish was way overbooked at the fact that, I knew that Jey Uso's brother, you just had a feeling that Jimmy was going to get involved because they weren't going to directly say, I quit for any particular reason other than he had to in order to save his brother, basically. So they had to figure out some way to do that. I just think it went way too freaking long. Legitimately, it was the first match on the show and took up the first hour of the show. And I don't know. I think that when you're starting a show, you're supposed to put up something that's quick paced that gets the people really involved and then gets the people really into it and get them excited. And this just did not do it for me at all. They took out the Roman came out with a strap and just started whipping him, and it just looked like a gigantic ace bandage. I mean, it didn't really. There was anything insane about this. And Meltzer has mentioned a lot of the journalists have claimed that they love this, including Dave Meltzer and Wade Keller, this whole storyline. I'm just not seeing what's so good to love about this thing.
My question to you guys, my question is, does a Hell in a Cell match work with no crowd?
No.
No, not at all. It doesn't. No.
But they have a particular set of pay-per-views that they hold every year. So, that's why it fit into the regular schedule. But I believe you're right. It does not work with no crowd. Even with the piped-in crowd noise and the Thunderdome, it did not work at all.
All right. So, you know what? 3 things. Yep. I've seen better I Quit steel cage matches. Obviously, I'm talking about Magnum TA and Tully Blanchard from Starrcade.
Absolutely. Yep.
So, that's like a bonus right there. Secondly, Roman just needs to shut up because obviously, like throughout the whole match, there was more dialogue than action. Obviously, he just kept mumbling to himself, and I hate that. It's like, that's why you have the mouthpiece there. Let Paul do the talking. You shut up, do it. What the fuck does this t-shirt say? Wreck it and leave or something like that? Some type of bullshit. And then thirdly, that was like the most cheapest way of saying, hey, throw in a towel. He quits.
Right. I thought that it got a little bit too crazy with, they're supposed to be his cousin, and it just kept getting crazier and crazier, taking the steel steers, taking all the weird weapons, all that stuff. It just, I don't know. I don't think anything like that would happen legitimately.
Went that far.
What's that?
I said it went that far.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's like having your little brother having a tantrum saying, oh, please just stop it. And the big brother just finesses you like, okay, I'll stop. I'm just kidding.
Right. Yeah, that's, I just, once they ended the match, he goes back and what do they call it? The tribal chief? And yeah, right. And he goes down there, and the original Wild Samoans were at the end to give him the whatever.
Really?
The thing. Yeah. Alpha and Sika were there, which I thought that was a nice, like, I thought that part, it was actually pretty cool. Alpha and Sika showing up, and and they gave him the lay or whatever you want to call it. He's the tribal chief. I just thought this whole, I'm just not into Roman. Roman as a heel, I've been saying he should go heel because that's the only way he's going to get over. Because he's not getting over as a baby face.
Yep.
And I think it works him as a heel. It's just a weird time in professional wrestling right now with no crowds. It really absolutely is. So this is not helping out, like,
let's
the
just put
situation.
it this way. Let's just put it this way. He sucks as a heel right now, and the only thing I think that was preventing him from being a good heel was that damn vest. It was like an anti-fucking heel vest. It's like, hey, let's just have the vest on, and it's like it's kryptonite. Like, but the vest prevents me from being a heel. Maybe if I take it off, I can be a full-fledged.
Right. I got tired of seeing the vest for actually years ago. It was just.
Well, I think without the vest, he needs new trunks as well.
I thought that he was. Yeah, I thought that he would got new gear. Apparently, I was wrong.
Yeah. He just looks a little awkward with just long pants. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's another thing. I think you're right about that. But overall, it's claiming here that only went 29 minutes. Now you're fucking wrong on that because that started like 5 minutes into the show, like after the introductions, and went to about 8:50 according to the clock that I was watching. So that there in itself was way more than a half an hour.
Yeah, like you said.
Yeah, it was the only match in the first hour. And then right after that, they did a video highlight package of the Elias and Jeff Hardy feud. And I didn't see SmackDown. What was that? What did that happen last week where Jeff Hardy attacked Elias with a guitar?
Okay. Wasn't it a few months ago that someone got run over or something like that?
Was it Elias that got run over?
Yeah, and then they blamed Jeff Hardy's DUI or something like that.
Yes, and I think that I've said this around that time period that I didn't like that they're bringing in Jeff Hardy's personal issues into storylines. I think.
Yeah.
About that, I do.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes you have to, in order to get over certain things, so you have to, put it in a public light.
Yeah.
It's again, like, I don't really think that's their fault. I mean, Hardy, gave me, like, I don't think maybe that's his way to cope with trying to get clean.
Yeah, I get what you're saying there.
Everybody has their own way of getting clean. I understand Jeff Hardy's point of view of what he was trying to do, if that's what he was trying to do.
Well, hasn't there been talks about him possibly bringing in his Willow character? Maybe there's some type of like character development going on.
That's what I've heard. I've heard that as well. That Willow was supposed to come in. Whether they do it or not, that's another thing. Actually, did you see Matt Hardy recently tweeted highlights of a clip from Willow versus Surge from back in the day, like 1996 or whatever, the two of them on a indie event. Yeah, he just tweeted it out, I think, yesterday. Yeah, and I'm just like, that Willow outfit was like way over the freaking top. Like, it just looked like way baggy and just, it looked like he would have tripped over himself trying to walk and stuff. So it was pretty, yeah.
Dude,
Either way,
I'll tell you what though, I would love to see some Will-o'-the-Wisp in WWE.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I think didn't he bring that character to TNA?
Yeah, he did. Yep.
Yeah. Yep. All right. That's good.
I actually got one of his T-shirts too, so maybe I should break that out one of these days.
Yeah. I had that Willow one, and I ended up selling it. I got it. I think I got it in a grab bag a while back. Either way, Elias won by disqualification. I don't remember exactly the ending, but I thought that it was not a very good match.
He basically pulled a slap nuts.
Oh, yeah.
A slap nuts.
Earlier. This next one, the Miz and Otis match.
Yes.
Whatever. I did not want to see Otis lose the Money in the Bank. I thought that it was pretty entertaining. That he won it. I think the reason why I liked that he won the Money in the Bank was because it was unpredictable. It wasn't really, it was a surprise. Do you think that something's going to happen where the Miz will actually cash in and get the title, or do you think that Otis will get the briefcase back at some point?
I mean, the way I see it, I was going to say, like, the way I see it, I don't think Miz is going to cash in right away, but I think there's going to be some involvement, maybe at the Survivor Series, maybe like a possible like triple threat. I was expecting him to possibly cash in later on as Orton.
That's what I think we were. I think we were all expecting that.
The only reason why I say that was Miz actually cashed in on Orton 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was right on TV. That was right on TV on Monday Night Raw, I believe, right?
Yeah. But I think Miz made a good choice by taking the briefcase instead of the lunchbox. So I'm happy for him.
I am a huge Miz fan, so I was very happy. Fuck Otis. I don't like.
Come on. I think I understand. I don't like Otis. I don't like. It's not that I don't like Otis. I don't like comedy wrestling either. I think that Otis is entertaining though. Yeah. I don't think he's really that bad either, but it's like the charming underdog, I guess, in the match, and so I think he's a guy. Like, I don't normally like wrestlers of that style, but I think he does work his ass off to try to be good at what he does.
He's your modern day Chris Farley mixed in with Bastion Booger. That's it.
Oh, come on! Don't insult Chris Farley. I love Chris Farley, but
I love Farley too.
Yeah. Chris Farley's great.
Chris Farley is the funniest person who's ever lived. But I'll tell you what, I was totally all for The Miz winning this match, and I fucking popped when he won. It's the first time I popped for WWE in a very long time.
Now, you know what? Here's my question. I have a big question with Tucker, turning heel. You think this is WWE's way of writing him off the TV, just having Otis finish him off? Because I don't really see him doing anything with Tucker.
I don't think that they would push Tucker or have Tucker, like, even, what they would have to reinvent him somehow. You know what I mean? He'd have to do new character, maybe even go back to NXT. Who the hell knows? It's very, I think it's too early to tell, really, with Tucker. So I have no clue.
I have a feeling Otis is going to get the belt back. No, the briefcase back. I have a feeling.
Yeah.
However, I'm with DVD Street. Like, yeah, happy about it. So, I agree. But I do think Otis will get that. I think, but who knows?
Yeah.
I'd like to. I wouldn't mind seeing something different. Where's Aleister Black? Why wasn't? I'm sorry, I know this is awful. Why
he was on Raw a couple of weeks ago, from what I heard, and it did not go well for him. But they haven't been. That's another guy they haven't been utilizing enough lately, at all. Aleister Black, because that guy's amazing. I think that guy. That's a guy that should be pushed towards the top. I mean, that guy should be being groomed for a title spot right now. I mean, he was a top guy in NXT for a long time and did some of the best shit in NXT, consistently for a couple years, So I think that guy is, and then whatever they were doing with him in the beginning, it's like all of a sudden he disappeared because of like a little injury or whatever. And then they just, he was in a fucking dark closet for however many months cutting promos, and then not much when he did return to the ring, So we're gonna have to see what happens ultimately with that guy.
And I was like I said, I haven't watched WWE in a while. I don't know what's going on. I've watched the pay-per-view. I was looking forward to seeing Alice because I know we got called that. And I was like, okay, whatever.
Yeah. I don't know. I think that's there's a lot of issues with the WWE. I mean, in the main roster, and obviously, I think this show is full of it. A lot of the issues that are going on. I don't know exactly, what's going on as far as the writing and stuff like that. But it has not been that entertaining. And this is the first WWE pay-per-view I've watched in its entirety since. Did we watch SummerSlam? Oh, I didn't review SummerSlam. That's right.
Yeah, that
I wasn't here.
SummerSlam is the last show I watched personally.
Right.
Did I watch that with you guys?
No. Well, yeah, because Mark Boy joined us for that one.
Yeah, I watched the next day because it was my anniversary, so I was out. So I was not on the show.
All right.
Yeah.
I remember.
The Hell in a Cell for the SmackDown Women's title. I thought this was match of the night. Bayley loses the title to Sasha Banks. They pulled out all the stops on this. I'm not a Bayley fan. I know I heard you say, Tremble, that you were a huge Bayley fan earlier on your YouTube stream, and I'm not. I've heard her referenced as she looks like James Gandolfini in a wig, which I think is fucking hilarious. Because
true. Well, first
it's true once you look at it. So you know.
Well, first of all, Bayley. Yeah, but I'm a Bayley fan. I didn't think she was gonna win. I completely thought Sasha was gonna win here. Yeah. But I think this would have worked as a WrestleMania match more than anything. You know, I think it's kind of a waste to have it on a B pay-per-view.
Yeah.
But you know, Sasha won. I don't know. I think this is kind of wasted opportunity. This whole match.
One question I had was, one match had to save the fucking show, and this had to be it. You know, because there had to be one good fucking match. I mean, not that the main event wasn't, but you know, it's just this was a different level. But I want to know how they had an endless supply of kendo sticks underneath the ring. I mean, does somebody import them, like a samurai import them just for the ring? Because it just kept coming out of nowhere. So I just find it bizarre that underneath the ring they hide so many different objects like kendo sticks and tables and chairs.
I think it's Samurai Jack.
It's pretty enjoyable.
Yeah, that's a hell of a match.
Yeah, I mean they gave these two women a half an hour, which I thought was pretty damn good.
Yeah.
So
I like the match. I think they showed more innovative ways of just using the kendo stick instead of just hitting them over the head or over the back. Obviously, Bayley tried to look like Darth Maul with the double kendo stick taped around. I mean, there was a couple spots that I liked during that match, like Sasha running up on the table doing the double knee. But yeah, that was a good match. But I think they pulled the trigger too early on those two. During the rivalry, I think it should have took place at a more grander stage, maybe like Survivor Series or WrestleMania. So.
Right. Yeah, I mean, go ahead, DJ. I'm sorry.
I have to admit that, like, when I saw like Sasha Banks and Bayley wrestle, I was like, again, serious. But then watching the SmackDown, I was like, man, I forgot how fun these, how great these two. Like, these two can go beat the shit out of each other, and it was a great match. With Sasha Banks doing the Meteora, he looked like Luke Kang. You get some distance and doing this, the bicycle kick. But no, I loved it. This match was great. They legit beat the shit out of each other. At first I was annoyed because I'm like these two again, and I forgot then I remembered all the fun matches they did in NXT. I know you guys remember that.
Yeah.
Everything they did when they got called up, I was a little like again with these people. Then it reminded me like, well, these are probably the two best female wrestlers now. I don't know. Are they like some of the best wrestlers? Are they the two best female wrestlers now?
They're definitely up there as far as like female wrestlers go. I mean, who do you think today has like the best women's division? It's got to be WWE. I mean, as far as like, I believe AEW's got a decent roster, but it's definitely not the roster that WWE has. You know, it's like their women's division is lacking. You know what I mean? It's all mismatch women. Yeah.
Wrestle.
Well, yeah. I was thinking.
These are some of the best women wrestlers ever, and watching them two wrestle, like, wow. You know, I felt bad thinking, like, you know, I legit was like, again, but then like, damn, now I know why we were always wrestling each other. They put on a clinic, and how a great story. I love it.
Yeah,
say.
Absolutely. Freak, you said you were about to say something.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a shame that I think Asuka, is she the Raw Women's Champion right now?
Well, she is, and I think it's bizarre that she wasn't on, because I could have sworn there's two things that I wanted to point out before we get into the next two matches, the last two matches of the show. I could have sworn that Asuka had a match tonight, and the Fiend I thought had a match tonight too, because I believe that I thought that they were building up for that.
Yeah, you had sent me a screenshot that the Fiend and fucking T-Bone or Boner or whatever the fuck his name is.
T-Bar.
He was supposed to be in a whatever the fuck this Retribution shit is. But him and the Fiend were supposed to have a match, and they ended up not happening. So I don't know what happened there.
I could have sworn that that's what I saw earlier, because I mean, like I said, I sent you a screenshot of a week ago, a couple of days ago.
A couple of days ago,
Yeah, and I don't know what exactly happened. But instead they had, oh god, Bobby Lashley and Slapjack, whatever.
Slapjack. Fuck me. Come on.
I'm going to tell you something. The Retribution thing, a lot of people are hating on, and I guess that because it started off really strong, and then it just kind of, they said that it fizzled relatively quick. Once they got drafted, they kind of the draft kind of ruined the whole thing, was because it was supposed to be guys that were invading because they were unhappy about not being picked properly or paid properly, yada yada, working for the company, not being used properly. So then it ended up, they were invading Monday Night Raw here and there. And then what ended up happening is they get drafted to Monday Night Raw.
Okay, I got to say this right now.
But I'm just like, look who the talent is, though. You got Shane Thorne, you got fucking Dominik Dijakovic, you got Mia Yim. Mercedes Martinez was there as well, but I think that she went back to NXT, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. And, there's somebody else. I can't remember who exactly.
Yeah, okay. Dio Madden, the same guy who got fucking slammed through the announcer table last year.
Who's that? Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't hear
you. Dio Madden.
Right. Yes. Who did that to him? Now I remember. Shit. I'm trying to remember who annihilated him. I remember that now. Yeah. So it's Bobby Lashley. This match, I don't look forward to seeing Bobby Lashley on my television whatsoever. It's like a lot of people were telling me, oh, they loved his Impact, his TNA run, but it's like I wasn't watching TNA at the time. But this, he comes back here and he's just so boring to watch. He really is boring. There's nothing very talented. And I'm sure he's a nice guy. I don't know him, but he's just not entertaining me by any means since his return to WWE.
Well, what's your thoughts on the whole stable itself? What is it, the Hurt Family or something like that? Whatever.
The Hurt Business.
The Hurt Business.
The Hurt Business.
I'm sorry. I've been drinking a lot.
I'm not an MVP fan.
It reminds me they did in TNA. Do you remember when weren't they in a stable with TNA together?
That's a good question. I see it. Like I said, I wasn't watching at the time, so they might have been.
And I remember, I believe, MVP was in a stable with Bobby Lashley and a couple other people.
I know who you're talking about. It was MVP, Bobby Lashley, and I believe Kenny King.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Okay.
And watching that just reminded me of regurgitated TNA bullshit. So, and then like the whatever Retribution, watching them come up and fuck shit up. All right, whatever. But it would have been cool to see Sanity come up and do that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Sanity from NXT.
I remember. Yeah, I remember when Sanity was there, and then they got called up to SmackDown and then destroyed immediately.
And like, I don't know, it made me like Sanity. Like, what the fuck? Like, they ruined a good thing.
Yeah, WWE seems to always. I mean, when it comes up to the main roster, anything that's great down in NXT, it immediately gets squashed and trashed once it comes up to the main roster.
Mm-hmm. And you know what? Here's what bothered me about this match. First of all, you have no build-up for that to be a United States Championship matchup.
I didn't know the match was even happening until the thing started. Until because they didn't announce it. But remember the other. I'm sorry to cut you off, Dan. I know the other day when we were talking, when we were doing the show the other day, and they only announced 4 of the matches, and this match was not even on the listing last night when I looked. So continue. I'm sorry.
And, secondly, if you're going to have anybody out of that group go for the U.S. title, obviously it should be like Donovan Dijakovic, because obviously the way I see it, nothing against Shane Thorne, but, he's been under and overutilized so many times, whether it was with TM61 or him just being singles competitor, not really doing anything in NXT besides competing in house shows. And now you have him part of this group, which, it's kind of not suiting, knowing the fact that he's not really playing it, kayfabe, social media wise, as his social media still reads Shane Thorne. So it's like, we already know who the fuck you are. And thirdly, instead of a singles match, this should have just been an 8-man tag.
Why not? Yeah. I mean, all of Retribution ended up getting involved. Now, is the Hurt Business now they're baby faces? Is that am I seeing that right?
The way I see this, I kind of see this as like kind of like reminiscing back to like 97 with the whole Bret Hart Steve Austin angle. It's like,
so there was no actual clear cut heel, no clear cut baby face. Yeah,
it's like everybody's just neutral in this. Yeah. It's like taking matters to its own business. So
right.
Can we talk? Oh, go ahead.
No, what do you? Oh, I was saying, flexible crowd to decide, you get what I'm saying? Yeah, freak talk. Sorry.
I think the funniest part of all this is, so basically, if you harass the WWE, you blow up their generator and destroy everything, and just cause absolute chaos, they will sign you.
Shit, that's all it takes to get a job. I'm in Stanford tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock.
Yeah,
that's all I got to do to get a job.
Hold on,
let's do it.
Well, look at it this way. How do you think Matt Hardy got re-signed in 2005?
Yeah,
I don't remember. I don't remember that other than he came over from TNA, right? Or no?
No, 2005.
No. He wasn't in TNA until 2005 is when he got fired for the Edge and Lita thing.
Oh, that was then? Okay. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I actually saw him on a Ring of Honor show at that time period because he was doing some Ring of Honor things. And while he was still fulfilling his Ring of Honor dates that he signed, he was popping up on Raw, like doing run-ins and shit like that. You know what I mean? Like from the crowd and stuff. So it's like it was pretty comical. So I expected, me as a fan seeing that, I was just like, it would like, and there was like a Ring of Honor show coming to town. I was like, it'd be so fucking cool if like fucking Edge came out like out of nowhere to fucking try to sell the shit. But of course, me being a mark, it never happened. So.
Man, like
I miss Ring of Honor, good Ring of Honor,
Yeah.
JJ, have you been watching it at all lately, like their television show?
No.
You should go, and they're doing the Pure tournament right now, and the last like 6 or so weeks has been phenomenal. It's been it's like they're rebooting You know what I mean? They're back from the pandemic bullshit, and it's so fucking good. It really is. Some of the matches they're having.
Correct.
What's that?
They're bringing that title back.
Yeah, they're bringing it back. Yeah, and it's been some incredible matchups. I believe Mark, if I remember correctly, tomorrow night the semifinal. You know, if you use the Fight app, you could view the show there, so for free.
I have that, and then there's another app I use to watch other stuff. To watch it, or if I want to watch like an AEW or whatever, I have an app for that. I'll have to look at that. I do miss the Ring of Honor fun, and I miss going to shows. Like my niece, I would take my niece to WWE shows.
Yeah.
And then I would take her to Ring of Honor shows, right? And I didn't even have to ask her. I remember, I forgot when it was. Probably like maybe 2014. We went to a Ring of Honor show. It was a very small venue. It was at a park house in Chicago Ridge. And my niece kept telling me, this is so cool, so awesome, like every 15 minutes. And he said, I like going to the Ring of Honor better than WWE. And that was coming from he said she was about 12 or 13.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot. I mean,
yeah, it is because
a non-biased opinion from a kid. Who's been to multiple shows. So yeah, that was in the Ring of Honor.
Well, I think they suffered in the last 2019, early 2020. WWE signed all their top talent, you know, and brought them all to NXT. So
the Bucks and Cody all left. The Elite left.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Elite. They all left, made AEW, whatever. And as you said, WWE signed everybody that they had. Even they even signed ACH.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, then he left after a few weeks because of and then he popped up somewhere randomly on an indie show I saw. I know he did a couple dates for MLW, but then he did signed. Shit. I think there was some sort of benefit that happened recently that he ended up being a part of. So I saw on a flyer somewhere online. Anyways, we're getting off. We never even discussed the main event before we. Yeah, I mean that's nothing out of the ordinary, you know. So Randy Orton defeated Drew McIntyre in the Hell in a Cell to win the WWE Championship, his 15th time, I believe. I got to tell you that 14th. Okay, thank you, Daniel. I was quite upset about this result. I really thought that I don't think Drew held it as long as he necessarily should have for storyline purposes. But maybe this is just fitting in the storyline for him to come back and get it back. I thought Drew was doing a really good job as being a world champion, the WWE champion. I think he's a phenomenal wrestler, and he was, he deserved that spot after however many years. It's just, I don't know why they took it off him so soon.
Well, the way I see it is he didn't get his main event win at WrestleMania. I mean, technically he did.
Yeah.
But I feel like maybe they're going to try to redo that for WrestleMania 37.
You think? Okay.
Maybe. I think that I love Drew McIntyre. I think he's great. And he really did deserve that crowd-pleasing moment at WrestleMania in the main event against Brock Lesnar. So, maybe they're setting that up again,
Right.
Because I did watch his 24 special, and it made me feel for the guy. He's been through a lot, and I feel like he really does deserve that huge crowd-pleasing moment. So maybe they're setting that up.
Right. God knows what even is going to happen in 2021 for WrestleMania or for live events at all. I mean, there's some states that are allowed to start booking smaller indie shows. I've gone to a few. There was probably like 30, 40 people inside a room. So, we're going to have to see what happens coming up. But I'd like to see that happen again, though.
I mean, the way I see this WWE Championship storyline going down the road is obviously there's been some rumblings about probably the past couple of months about possibly bringing Edge back and feuding with Orton and having another WWE title run, which I don't want to see happen. I mean, I definitely want to see, Drew McIntyre have his moment in front of a crowd, winning the WWE Championship once again, and at least, headlining it in front of, an audience, for audience to witness.
Right.
As Survivor Series comes along, I mean, I could definitely see there being a rematch, maybe possibly being a tease of Miz, coming in, possibly trying to cash in. I mean, you just never know.
Right.
Never know.
We'll have to see what happens. We're living in weird times. I think it's really too early to tell. A lot of see what's going to happen that far down the road.
I think they put the belt on Randy Orton, maybe. Some I don't know. I haven't. I read the third. Okay. They said that the ratings have been low, right? Maybe the belt on Randy Orton's ring. I don't know. Again, I don't watch enough WWE to predict anything. I couldn't tell who's on Raw, and there was a draft recently. Am I right?
Yeah, I think that was what last week and the week before. Is that right, Dan? Or am I? Or maybe before?
Yeah, it was kind of like I think it started on like SmackDown first, and then it went to Raw and somewhere along the line.
I didn't watch it. I probably should have, but I didn't. I've read the reports, through the third sheet and stuff like that. So
I listened to Brian Alvarez bitch about it. So my question to you guys: did anyone expect the Miz to cash in here tonight?
Yes, I was hoping to see that. So
yeah,
I thought that it would be quite enjoyable to see him do that.
Obviously, I did. I called it before. Practically saying, reminiscing back to 2010 when Miz cashed in on Orton the first time on Monday Night Raw. So,
didn't that create? Wasn't it that Miz girl who was all pissed off?
Yeah.
Right? That show that little kid was all mad.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. All right. I remember that. Wow. I remember that as it happened. And I wasn't expecting it at all because I just completely forgot that Miz won the Money in the Bank and that he passed in. I completely. It just didn't. That wasn't on my mind as I was watching. So I can't. I'm not gonna sit here and lie and be like, oh yeah, I was expecting Miz to cash in at that 4 DM, but no, it slipped my mind. No.
I was hoping it would have. happened. I'm not. It would have been a lot. I think it would have been exciting. You know what I mean?
I think that, and why not? Why not? Why shouldn't he have another run? He had one run in 2000. What year was that? 7?
Something like that. Yeah. Around it was. I think it was 10 years ago. Dan said, isn't that what you said about 10?
Yeah.
So yeah.
It was like 2010, and his run lasted like a little bit after like WrestleMania 27.
Yep.
Yeah. So he had a pretty decent run though. So I mean, I enjoyed him as champion. I think that it annoyed everybody in the world, and that's why I thought that it was better than anybody expected, because it actually annoyed people because he was probably one of the best heels going in the business at that time period.
Yeah, but Punk was on SmackDown doing his thing. I remember seeing all over that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I wouldn't mind seeing his chance one more time.
Yeah, I'd like to see it one more time. One of the things that I wanted to state about the show was the Thunderdome. Now, this is the first show that I've watched in its entirety with the Thunderdome. I see that Matthew Tremble is laughing at me, but the thing with this is the piped-in crowd noise. Okay, I get it. They're trying to make it a little bit better viewing for the watcher, to see, and I guess it's pretty creative in that point. But the fact that they piped in the "holy shit" chant, or the "this is awesome," or the "this is awesome" chant. I mean, come on, it was just a little bit ridiculous with that. I just you're trying too hard. The empty. I'd rather watch the empty silent arena like in WrestleMania. and then have the fake Howard Finkel do the ring introduction. You know what I mean? Like that was this was just it just wasn't doing it for me. I just laughed it off, and I was like, I could not believe it.
It just seems like they're partying themselves over, and it's so forced, and it's just cringy.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you hear the "This is awesome" chants, you're like, obviously, you can't have people over the Thunderdome chanting "This is awesome," so like it's just them cringily putting themselves over. So it kind of takes you out of it.
Well, you can tell the crowd. Like I remember watching the screen and the camera would pan to like the Thunderdome crowd.
Mm-hmm.
You saw a lot of people clapping and yelling.
Right, but you're not going to be able to hear them. You know what I mean? It's like I just feel like there's something like I don't know.
I can see how it's kind of corny.
Yeah,
fucking corny. But if I'm getting into the match, I'm not focused on other shit. I'm just focused on the wrestling, and I'm forgetting that there's not people there. I try to forget that. When I was watching this, I'm like, I forget that there's no people in the crowd. Get that up, yeah.
Right.
And I did, and seeing those people in the scene, I just watched it and taking it for what it's worth. That's what I did. And, I see your guys' point. But,
yeah, it's I don't know.
Added to it, I don't know. It kind of made it a little better.
I understand WWE is trying to give the viewer a better experience because something that we're more used to rather than silence in the background. You know what I mean? And it's just I don't know, this new normal for the freaking live crowd, for the crowd watching at home. It's just I don't know, man. There's just something about it that's gets to you, you know.
It's not the new normal because it isn't normal. You're like the world's gonna go back to how it was eventually.
Right. I think that you're right. I think you're right. It's just we're living in crazy times. You know, I'm hoping that we go back to normal, but this whole.
But yeah. I found out 2 people that I know. Oh no, 3 people that I know caught that virus. And I was close to one of them in particular. I was very close with them, and I found out about it.
Right.
Real.
Dan, you got anything you'd like to add, my friend?
Well, I tell you what. I mean, when it comes to empty arenas, I think Jerry Lawler and Terry Funk can pull off a better empty arena match than this bullshit.
What about The Rock and Foley? I mean, they did a pretty damn good entertaining. But I think that Funk and Lawler are probably the originators. I mean,
I read a report from, I don't know if it was Meltzer or someone else, that WWE isn't planning on doing their regular touring schedule till 2022.
I've heard something similar to that. I've heard that they're very eager to get involved in live crowds again, though, as well. So we'll have to see what happens. Florida's a shit show right now.
Well, AEW, I think they're doing 25% capacity in whatever Florida venue they're at.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just the Thunderdome. I think we're gonna have to get used to that for a while.
Yeah.
For a very long time. I don't think WrestleMania will be in front of a crowd. I really don't.
Well, yeah. I would like for it to happen, but God knows what the hell will happen, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Well, they might as well just call it WrestleMania 36 Part 2.
Well, they wanted to be in Tampa, so.
Right.
Let's just hope fucking sun explodes.
tomorrow.
I'm just playing.
I did a live stream recently where somebody said, "Oh, I'm going to be at WrestleMania 37 in Inglewood, California," and I'm like, "Sorry, pal, it's not going to be in California." That's not happening. It sucks because
I don't think it's going to happen either.
No, WrestleMania 37 will not be in Hollywood. I think the plans right now is Tampa.
Mm-hmm.
And I could easily see it being like 50% maybe. Maybe we can get to that point. But I highly doubt we're going to have a 60,000 or 70,000 crowd for WrestleMania this year. Or next year.
One of the other reasons...
I was going to say, don't get me wrong, but at WrestleMania 37, what kind of match are you going to have? A forest fire match?
One of the other reasons I heard wasn't the new arena that they were supposed to be setting in? It wasn't even built yet. It hasn't even been finished, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, SoFi Stadium, which was in California, I know for the most part it's finished, but there might be some new additions. I was looking forward to that, though. California WrestleMania again. Whenever they go to California, you get some higher quality matches, and as far as I know, next year we're getting the Rock and Roman. So we'll see. We'll see.
You think that'll happen? I don't know. Speaking of the Rock, he appeared on Impact's pay-per-view last night. Did you guys watch any of that?
Yeah, I seen glimpses of that. I seen Rock made an appearance, Bret Hart, Mick Foley, which is kind of big for Impact, despite it being virtual. And then obviously there were some good moments. Obviously the finally getting a tag team division, like I've been talking about, Rick. All these tag teams getting built, about fucking time. And
the women, my prediction came true that the North were going to win the tag team titles back, and hell yeah, my boys won the titles. So
listen, I have nothing against the North winning. I'm happy that they won, but I think the storyline between Ace Austin and Madman Fulton, I think it would have made a little bit more sense in a way.
What's going on with this? Is he doing good in Impact?
Impact, I think, is the most underrated product right now in professional wrestling.
Ace Austin.
Yeah. I mean, he's killing it there. Rich Swann won the world title from Eric Young last night. The EC3, I did not like the decision either. EC3 and Moose did like a cinematic match. Did you see that, Dan?
I didn't see that, but to get off that topic, one thing that I did enjoy about that was Tommy Dreamer paying tribute to Road Warrior Animal. I kind of got a pop with that.
Yeah, he came out with the face paint, Animal's face paint. He cut his hair into a mohawk for the evening, and he wore an Animal shirt. And I got to tell you that Tommy Dreamer pays tribute in the most sincere and kind of way. He is that guy loves professional wrestling, and he, a lot of these guys, they might not have grown up with them, but a lot of these guys are his heroes too.
But despite Dreamer's body being made of Oreos nowadays, he could still put on a pretty good match.
Yeah, he's a little bit fun. I don't like those baggy pants that he wears now, but whatever. I remember when he was wearing the Adidas sweatpants in the ring all the time. They're in the 90s. So, and the T-shirt. I don't know how this all came about, but how that gear came about. But yeah, the Impact pay-per-view I thought was a better pay-per-view overall. James Storm returned to Impact as well last night. Yep, that was I actually popped for that.
We were all we're like about a week ago. Remember, we were up top in that message thing.
I got my hang on a second. I got my James Storm's cowboy hat.
Oh, yippee-ki-yay.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker. Now I get to wear it because
Are you going to sing Jimmy Crack Corn?
That's cool. Damn,
So yeah, he returned, and I popped for that. I was see they had claimed Impact had claimed that they were going to have there was going to be a big return right at the beginning, and it wasn't right at the beginning. It was like second match in the middle of the match, and as part of that Rumble type rip-off match, whatever the fuck they call it, and all of a sudden James Storm came out, and I fucking jumped off the couch. I was like, holy shit, because he was in the NWA, and then he left the NWA recently. Freak, go eat some bread or something.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was good. Hornswoggle made an appearance. I thought it was a pretty good show overall. Definitely thought it was better than Hell in a Cell. So.
And the return of Su Yung, which
oh yes, Su Yung, the character Su Yung came back. She won the Knockouts title, and then after the show, they announced that the Knockouts women's tag team titles are making a return, and Hard to Kill January 16th, 2021. The new champions are going to be crowned. So. I think that, like I said, Impact has been killing it lately. It's been my favorite show of the week to watch. Ring of Honor is definitely close to it as well. Every week. So there's just a lot of good wrestling outside of the mainstream wrestling that you can watch outside of. One of my new favorite shows is JJ. Do you subscribe to IWTV?
I don't know. No.
The independent wrestling. Yeah, they put up a lot of stuff like Freelance and Black Label Pro, stuff like that up there. And now they got this new TV show called The Masked Wrestler. It's kind of like similar to like The Masked Singer in a way, sort of, where they got all these wrestlers, and then they got like wearing masked outfits and black outfits, and then they got a panel. Chris Statlander is on there from AEW, and then two other people I'm not familiar with, but you got to try to guess who. The guy that loses is, and then they reveal who it is. It's been my favorite show of the week. There's been 2 episodes that air. It's quite enjoyable. It's fun.
I've never heard of it. That sounds funny.
It's very funny. The first episode is for free up on YouTube. I highly recommend. I'll send you guys the link in the chat later. It's fun to watch. It's a fun watch.
That host that show. The other 2.
The second episode is up on their app, the IWTV app. But the first one is free on YouTube and various other places. So I'm sure you might be able to find the other ones to watch elsewhere as well.
Black People Pro that they record somewhere in Crown Point, and
yeah,
they're all over. I love freelance. I wish I could go to more freelance shows.
Yeah.
I never been disappointed going with freelance. Man, good wrestling. But good wrestling out by you guys as well.
Yeah. We got a lot of shows lately. Paradise Alley started running shows again. They ran 3 in one day, back to back, and then I went to another one. Test of Strength out of East Hartford started running again. So, which is run by Slick Wagner Brown. They've run 2 or 3 shows. They're all outdoor shows so far, but it's with the colder weather coming, I don't think that they're going to be doing many more of those outdoor shows. I just saw today that they canceled one of their upcoming shows as well. So
yeah, it's getting cold out here in the Midwest.
Well, you're in the Midwest. It's going to get worse for you out there.
Oh yeah.
So.
Plus, I'm right by the lake. So,
yeah.
Oh boy. Yeah, it gets cold. Yeah.
Before we get too off topic, should we do a letter grade for the show?
I'm gonna go with Jesus Christ. This is a really hard one because I thought they started with a match that went almost an hour. That was just slow as fuck. I'm gonna have to go with the fucking C-. I really am.
Yeah, I'll go with the same grade there, C-.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll go with C-. Well,
it's your turn.
Yeah. I mean, there were some pretty unpredictable. Like I didn't see Randy Orton winning, but
I did not expect that by any means.
Yeah, that's pretty fucked up, honestly.
Bro, Squire, bro.
I didn't expect that. I was very disappointed in the whole entire thing, but you know, it is what it is.
Yeah, I'll go.
I just think that I just think they're going to build up for something bigger at some point. Just take the belt off of Drew, and they're going to use it for something.
Well, someone reported today that we were going to see Drew McIntyre and Roman for the main event of Survivor Series.
Oh wow!
So I don't know if that report went to shit. If this was some kind of last minute decision, because I read a report earlier that the script was just being thrown around all night.
Really?
And they were just kind of making last minute decisions here, and that the Survivor Series was going to be Roman and Drew McIntyre.
How are they going to do that if they're on two different brands? Like, how are they going to? I mean, every year they have a fucking invasion. Anyways, so
they do Raw versus SmackDown.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Well, last year they did NXT versus Raw and SmackDown.
Well, I think what they would have done, I think they would have done like a champion versus champion type match, just no titles on the line. So just like an inter-promotional type match.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping NXT gets involved this year, like they did last year, because I think that was a good move on their part. Third brand there.
I thought that Survivor Series last year was a fucking amazing show. It really was when NXT got involved, and I have not been a fan. There's not many main roster pay-per-views that I could say that for in the last 15 or so years that were just fucking great from beginning to end. You know what I mean? I thought it was just a lot of fun. The crowd was heated, throughout the whole thing. NXT fucking killed it. So I'm hoping that we get some sort of, I mean, obviously there's no live crowd now, but I'm hoping that we get something amazing again this year.
I mean, the way it's looking, it doesn't look like NXT is going to be involved.
Yeah. I think that NXT now, seeing that they're on, well, they were just getting to cable TV at that time, so they were really trying to promote the product on cable. So, we'll have to see what happens.
On the War Games, wasn't there a War Game?
Yep. Was it around that? I'm trying to remember when War Games was. Dan, do you know?
Probably October somewhere.
Yeah. Okay. So maybe they'll do something. Oh yeah. That sounds right. Yeah.
But this, you think like a War Games type thing? Yeah.
They did some sort of pay-per-view of theirs the night before, and I expected that guys from the main roster would jump in, but they didn't. So we'll just have to see what happens coming up. All right, gentlemen. You guys got anything left?
I got a bonus.
Oh, you got a bonus. Let's see this bonus. Actually, you know what?
What do you got?
Go ahead, Dan. Let me.
Okay. So, this guy who usually emails me, he emailed me again a list of Ring of Honor DVDs that he had for sale, and he was just let me know what you want. He categorized them by year of films and everything. And I saw two that I wanted, so I was like, all right, why not? I got this yesterday, figured I'd save it for today. And, open the fucking thing. There you go. All right, so what we have here, this one's a more popular event. This is the Ring of Honor Sign of Dishonor DVD. This was the event where CM Punk signed his WWE contract.
Wow.
At the Ring of Honor event. And you had CM Punk taking on Jay Lethal for the ROH World title. Christopher Daniels versus Colt Cabana. We had a 4-corner survival match between Samoa Joe, Homicide, James Gibson, and Austin Aries. AJ Styles versus Jimmy Rave. And a lot of good matches on here. And then the next one I got, this is brand new. This is the, let's see. Yeah. 5th year festival in Liverpool. You had Samoa Joe taking on Nigel McGuinness. Jay, let's see, Roderick Strong versus Pac for the FIP heavyweight title. So that's pretty interesting right there. 2 out of 3 falls. Delirious versus Matt Sydal. Homicide versus Davey Richards. Yeah, so this is an event I'm definitely looking forward to watching.
That sounds spectacular. That's cool.
What the hell was that?
Oh, that was, bubble wrap. It's addictive.
Oh, gotcha. All right, gentlemen, I'm just about out of here because I got to work in the morning. So,
yeah,
where can we find you all?
Well, you can find me at Facebook /Danny Bryant. You can find me on Instagram at D_Banshee187. And you can find me on YouTube and Twitter at DanTheBeast94. So be sure to hit that subscribe button, especially if you're going to be watching my channels and you're not subscribed. What's that say, JJ? Bring it closer for the fans, Oh, yeah. What are you doing? Hit that button.
Freak. Or, okay.
Freak.
Sorry. Yeah. Sorry. It's been a really long night of drunkenness, but yeah. The DVD Freak on YouTube. The.DVD Freak on Instagram, and then everything else, Snapchat and Twitter, I don't use too much. So yeah, main way to reach me is YouTube. I try to upload at least every other day. So yeah, there you go.
You find me at everywhere at JSINNZ. That's JJ Sims. I'm on everything but Facebook, and I'm most active on Twitter. I'm most active on Snapchat. Yeah, JJ Sims. Whatever.
And of course, you can find me at the Rick Del Santo. I am on the Twitter and the Instagrams. More content coming up to Instagram TV. So keep an eye out. Take care, everybody.